Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. In entertainment news, Chuck fans have a plan to rally support for the NBC series, and this time it doesn't involve sandwiches. With the action comedy's renewal fate still yet to be decided, Chuck fans will stage themed flash mobs in at least 4 cities. In Chicago, Seattle, San Diego, and Philadelphia. Chuck fans plan to gather while dressed in the show's Buy More style clothing. This idea is from the fan site ChuckTV.net, one of those that led last year's finale in a foot-long campaign that made national headlines when fans bought sandwiches from Chuck sponsor Subway. While last year's effort was about sending a message to NBC that fans will support the show's advertisers, this year it's about trying to market the show to potential viewers. The NBC series has been walking a fine line between renewal and cancellation, though indications suggest the network is bullish about a return. Chuck has been the most stable part of the network's Monday night lineup in a year during which ratings for companion series heroes have dropped significantly.
In today's financial news, the Dow Jones Industrial Average posted its biggest one-day gain in more than a month, driven by strong earnings reports and data showing improving manufacturing conditions in the Midwest. The Dow rose 122 points, or 1.1%. That was its biggest point and percentage rise since March 5th, and its 14th gain of the last 16 sessions. American Express was the measure's top performer, closing up 3.3%. Pfizer and Merck each rose 2%, following strong earnings reports from competitors that bode well for the broader healthcare industry. The broad surge came following several days in which the market had been hemmed in by fears about sovereign credit in Europe. But strong earnings reports from a host of economic bellwethers have left investors more optimistic about the recovery of U.S. businesses. Also boosting the market, data showed manufacturing activity in the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City's district expanded at a solid pace in April, and the reading on employment reached its highest level in more than 2 years.
In U.S. news, several thousand demonstrators marched through the New York financial district last Thursday in a protest led by labor unions, saying Wall Street's biggest banks must account for record profits while average Americans still suffer financially. Spearheaded by the AFL-CIO, the march made its way through the downtown Manhattan financial district with signs saying, "Wall Street overdrafted our economy," and "Reclaim America, hold banks accountable." The march featured a variety of organizations and labor unions with grievances about the economy and jobs. The U.S. Senate began debuting an overhaul of the U.S. financial system after Republicans threatened to ground proceedings to a halt for 3 days. Support for the Democrats' push on Wall Street reform was boosted following a Senate hearing this week when executives from giant investment bank Goldman Sachs faced questioning about the company's ethics and treatment of clients. Last week, President Barack Obama delivered a speech in New York in which he scolded Wall Street for fighting tighter regulation and said legislation was needed to avoid future crisis.
In today's tech news, Google Incorporated is planning to introduce Android-based television software to developers at an event in May. The technology designed to open set-top boxes, TVs, and other devices to more content from the internet is attracting interest from partners that include Sony Corporation, Intel Corporation, and Logitech International SA, which are expected to offer products that support the software. Google of Mountain View, California is currently planning on sharing some details about the technology with more than 3,000 developers expected to attend its Google In-N-Out conference in San Francisco on May 19th and 20th. One person familiar with the matter cautioned the company could also decide to delay discussing it until the technology is more mature. Google uses the annual conference to showcase a range of technologies of interest to developers. The decision to address developers suggests that the internet giant may be hoping to kickstart a race to build applications of its TV platform, much in the same way that Google, Apple, and others have courted developers for smartphones. The App Store approach has already begun to gain traction among some players in the TV market, too aided by the advent of TVs, Blu-ray players, and other hardware with internet connections.
Ever wish you had sonic hearing? Well, now you can with the amazing Silver Sonic XL from Bell & Howell. Now you can easily hear sounds that other people can't, and even hear conversations from clear across the room.
John is a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is. I hope he's enjoying his surprise party.
The sleek, ergonomically designed Silver Sonic XL is lightweight and small, just like a cell phone ear adapter. Its flexible ear mount easily adjusts to fit all ear shapes and sizes, and the molded ear tip lets it fit you comfortably. And because it resembles a cell phone ear adapter, no one will ever know that you have sonic hearing. Now you can sit in the balcony and hear the orchestra like you're sitting in the front row. Keep track of your kids while they play in the park, and even hear the doorbell when you're working in the backyard. You'll be amazed at how clear and vibrant every sound is. The Bell & Howell Silversonic XL picks up and amplifies sounds from up to 30 yards away. You can watch TV without turning up the volume, and even watch in bed without disturbing others. Your Bell & Howell Silversonic XL amplifies sounds up to 50 decibels. There's a high and low switch to vary the sound intensity, and a volume control so you can set just the level you want. With the Silversonic XL, you might even hear things that may pleasantly surprise you.
Her body is amazing. I wish I could look like that.
Similar products are being sold elsewhere for $40 or more, but through this exclusive TV-only offer, the Bell & Howell Silversonic XL is yours for only $19.95. And just listen to this. When you call, be sure to ask about our deluxe model upgrade that's fully rechargeable and comes with its own charger, so you'll never have to buy another battery again. Get Silversonic XL now and start hearing things you've never heard before. Call now.
To order your Silversonic XL, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-230-7100 or send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Silversonic XL, P.O. Box 3700, Palm Desert, California. But for quicker service, call 1-800-230-7100.
In health news, AIDS, smoking, and obesity are reversing progress made in helping people live longer around the world, with mortality rates worsening over the past 20 years in 37 countries. The research found Icelandic men have the lowest risk of premature death. Some rich countries such as the United States and Britain scored relatively poorly. The colleagues used a complex formula to calculate the probability that someone aged 15 will die before they reach 60. They believe their method paints a more accurate picture than methods used by the United Nations. This complex formula can also be used to compare countries with populations of different ages. In the 40 years since 1970, they found adult mortality risk fell by 34% among women and 19% in men globally. But some places had notable reversals in rank, including the former Soviet Union. Russia has fallen from 43rd place for female mortality in 1970 to 121st. The United States, where 60% of adults are overweight or obese, fell in overall rankings from 34th in the world in female mortality and 41st in male mortality in 1990 to 49th for women and 45th for men in 2000. Mortality rates in South Korea fell by 50%. The colleagues said they wanted to study adult mortality globally because so much emphasis goes into helping very young children survive.
In today's Green News, students from Pasadena Heights, California have built a vehicle using a hydrogen internal combustion engine with a 4-stroke engine from Honda. The 3-wheeled vehicle runs entirely on hydrogen and uses absolutely no gasoline. After a successful test drive, the car is now ready for a public showing. The bugs have been fixed, but there were a couple of safety issues that we had to consider before we ran the car at our open house, said project manager and student John Wing. The students are part of the Los Altos Academy of Engineering. The program exposes high school students to real-life experiences with engineering and technology, which is why this isn't the first feat of engineering seen from the group. Their Solar Shadow raced across Australia in the World Solar Challenge, and their Infusion took first place in the Shell Eco Marathon. They've even built a human-powered airplane. According to Mr. Wing, Mike Kearns was the instructor who started the idea back in the 07-08 school year. From there, it became their flagship vehicle. They originally planned on competing in the Shell Eco Marathon and were actually the first high school to create a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle.
In fashion news, Naomi Campbell's love for Russia has inspired the British supermodel to raise money for the country's underprivileged children. Spending part of the year in Moscow with her Russian boyfriend, a property mogul Vladimir Doronin, the model has become a regular fixture at the city's fashion shows and elite boutiques. Though she has a history of brushes with the law in the West, she is much loved by Russians and is the first major foreign star to live in the country. In late May, Campbell hopes to raise at least $1 million at her fundraiser called Neon for 2 Russian charities which provide education, medicine, and training for children. The money will be split between the Iris Foundation. Sculptures by British artist Anthony Gormley and works by U.S. painter Richard Prince will be auctioned with other pieces of art by London Sotheby's at the event. Many established Moscow socialite will be at the auction, along with a slew of international fashion stars and Britain's Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.